Ladies and gents, welcome to another ESEA Open 6v6 cast. This one between TF2 is for casuals, abbreviated F2P, and 10 points to Giffyndor, whose tag is Endor on the end of their names. We are watching a map on CP Gully Wash, and right now we've got Black Dynamite, Alcindor rolling out to the point really fast, going on the left side here so that he can zone out that area effectively, and it looks like both teams pretty much want to take the same rollout here, both of them kind of feeling each other out. Now, each team is actually doing a really great job here staying alive at the mid-fight, nobody really being aggressive until just now when Boink and the other soldier, that's Trisk, both jump in. Boink went down, Emron did as well, but now we've got a simultaneous situation on the blue team where they have also lost a scout and a soldier at the mid-fight, so lots and lots of death going on here, but it looks like Pet is having to retreat. Most of his team is dead. The only person defending him right now is Giffy. So, the mid-fight went pretty squarely there to TF2 is for casuals, and we've got Curdle up on the way now, trying to get to the point. Zephyr, the demo man for F2P, was trying to deal some damage out there. Didn't get a lot gone down before he had to fall back, but that's pretty standard. So while we've got a little bit of a lull in the action here, I'm going to go over the rosters real quick. So for TF2 is for casuals, we've got E-Rock on the medic. I am Root as the pocket, Zephyr, the demo man, Curdle, the roamer, Gunship Commander, and Guy are their two scouts, and lots of action coming in over here. One scout down already for F2P, while Giffy, as Giffyndor, pretty much everybody stayed up. Giffy only at 4 health, actually, so he was lucky to make it out alive. But now we actually have Boink, the roaming soldier here for Giffyndor, pushing around behind F2P, and this could actually be a really big play here. I don't think they realize that Boink is here. No, now they've seen him, so gonna have to see whether Boink can make anything happen. They do have F2P here, just pushed slightly in a position where they don't want to be. Yeah, here they go. They're trapped. They knock out the medic. Excellently done there by Giffyndor. So they're gonna push on to the midpoint. F2P with only 2 scouts up right now, and while we have yet another lull in the action, well, these guys out-cap the bat cap going on by those scouts. We're going to go over the roster for Giffyndor. Pet is on medic. Trisk, I believe, is the pocket soldier. Boink, the roamer. Emron and Giffy going to play scouts, and rounding them out is Alcindor, aka Black Dynamite, on the demo man. So, we have a situation right now where blue team is kind of feeling tentative about even pushing out here to defend. They do have the uber disadvantage, so they're just trying to walk out of their door here, keep their medic very safe, and do as much damage as possible to the attacking red team. But red definitely gets that point there, and they're going to want to push into last. So with their uber advantage actually dwindling, they've only got about 10% advantage. I'm wondering if they think they have a higher advantage here, if they're going to be really aggressive, or if they're just going to set up like most teams do in the lobby and wait to get a pick. They don't have anybody playing any heavy class. Well, actually, they do have one sort of weird class here. They've got Boink on the heavy. So Boink has off class to heavy. They're pushing in right now with an uber, but of course the counter uber does get popped by F2P. They have pretty much managed to force everybody back from Giffyndor, and Giffyndor actually loses a scout and a heavy. Now Zephyr doing a really good job here of trying to knock out this sneaky little cap attempt by Giffyndor, so that's not going to happen, guys. Sorry, but no cigar there. So Zephyr just checking to make sure there's nothing down there. He's going to sticky up this point so that if anything tries to get a bat cap while F2P pushes out, they'll be able to deal with it, no problem. Now Emron over here actually waiting for a flank. If the enemy were to come out this right-hand side, he could have gotten a lot of damage put down on him, but the combo is actually coming out of their left door here, the lower lobby. And so Giffy goes in, tries to get the medic pick, doesn't quite do it. But Giffyndor, the entire team here, holding really well on second point. So even though F2P tried to push out there, they were maybe just a little bit too late and didn't push out with quite enough to take this out. Now we do have Root coming out here and saying, okay, well, our medic is down, we need to do something really important here, and Trisk, Alcindor both go down, and now finally Pet is taken down as well. So what looked like it was going to be kind of a no-go there for F2P, they actually turned it into a really good offensive move and basically wiped out everybody from Giffyndor. Not sure why Giffyndor ended up losing all their players, but wow, Giffy and Emron once again go down, so that's both scouts down once again for 10 points to Giffyndor. I'm not going to give them any points just yet because their play so far has been a little bit disjointed, and they've let F2P come back from a situation where they were trying to defend last. Now they're pushing up onto second, so F2P doing a great job. TF2 is for casuals, pushing past second, past third, and they want to go attack fourth. Now, Black Dynamite's sitting over here and trying to cap it. Looks like he got pressured a little bit there, but didn't take too much damage from that invading scout. So They are going to hold mid here. I'm not too sure, though, why this demo man is being that aggressive. He is, of course, a great demo man. I've played lobbies with him before, so I know that he's got the skills. But his team is mostly down. He wants to be really careful about how much damage he takes. And keeping in mind that F2P gets the forward spawn, so they can reinforce much faster than 10 points to Giffyndor can. And here they go. They are finally setting up. They say, no, this is definitely our point now. We've got an Uber just about ready to go. So F2P sitting here, and it looks like they actually may send their medic around the left side. No, he is going back up to the right. Pretty standard here to have your medic and your core hang out at this choke point, while your scouts and your roamer hang down here. And this actually, I haven't seen too many stickies get that far forward in a game like this, but they are doing a great job of stickying that up. Now we've got the medic pushing out here, seeing if they can't get out there and attack, deal some damage. They don't want to pop that Uber unless they know they can get the medic. They're going to send the soldier up here because it was spotted. The combo was seen up here, so they said, okay, we got to try and get some damage put down. They didn't really manage to kill anything, but of course they've forced back 10 points to Giffyndor. So now TF2 is for casuals, whose record actually not as good as 10 points to Giffyndor here. I think they have ended the season at 13th, whereas Giffyndor's ended at 4th. But Giffyndor is now in a position where they have to defend their last point. So can they do it? And I think my answer is going to be yes, but I honestly don't know. So we've got a scout walking in here over to the left side, trying to see if he can't spot anything suspicious going on. There is, of course, a mini sentry in what looks like it might be a pretty standard spot. I've cast another game just today where there was a mini sentry right there, and it's kind of hidden from the invaders, so it's supposed to do a little bit of damage, but did not do a lot. The Uber is popped for F2P, but Giffyndor counter pops on the Pyro, actually. So Boink going Pyro. Seems like he really likes to off-class in these kind of situations, so they don't have that extra soldier, but they do have an interesting utility class. He does get taken down, though. Medic for F2P is on fire, but still has 100 health, and everybody chasing after him is really just taking a lot of damage, not accomplishing a lot. So great job there from E-Rock to stay alive and keep the team healed up as much as possible. Now Emron, who went engineer to defend that last point, is looking like he needs a little bit of a heal himself, having to fall back there to last, and so Giffyndor just did not have the players ready and knocking out that sticky with a pain train. But Giffyndor did not have the players ready and really able to push out of that last point. So once again, they're in a position where they have to defend last. Boink actually sitting up here in a really forward position. I'm not sure if he's going to be visible here until it's kind of too late. Yeah, if the enemies are pushing up here, they may not see him. However, actually looking at that, if he keeps that flamethrower out, it's actually pretty visible there. So I don't know if that's exactly what he wants to do. Nonetheless, F2P, here they come. The Uber is popped. The Pyro was not spotted, so he's just going to sit here and keep the medic back as much as possible. But didn't work all that well. Now, of course, the Heavy wasn't able to advance that far, having to deal with that Pyro, so that let everybody else from Giffyndor focus everybody down. Now Guy here trying to go huge and get the medic pick. Did he get it? Yes, he did. He helped. Actually, Curdle got the pick on Pet, but with everybody down for F2P except their demo man, and Zephyr just now on his way here, I don't think F2P will be able to push into last. So we got the Zephyr cam going on here, and he's actually taking a lot of damage here just from the scouts that were pushing out. So he needs to back off, get some health, and prepare to defend mid. That's what F2P is going to be doing right now. There is a small pause here, but thanks to the magic of movie editing, we don't actually have to watch that whole pause. So if you are watching this video, be thankful that this is a wonderful STV democast and not live, because that pause was rather long. We do have, I think, a couple more coming up in this game. You know, pauses happen, players drop, whatever the case. Now, since this is an STV demo, we don't actually know what caused the pause. We'll find out in about 90 seconds of game time. Nonetheless, teams here look like they really want to set up their positions. F2P has been forced back to their mid after trying to push into last, and this has gone back and forth without anybody getting a cap. 10 points to Giffyndor, doing a very aggressive Uber building here, so they are going to be just about on time and actually slightly ahead of F2P, but F2P and Giffyndor both are going to have the Ubers, so whoever pushes in here first probably going to be at a disadvantage. If you are attacking into your enemy, unless you can get some really good distraction or flanking going on, you are going to have a disadvantage just because the enemy gets to be set up and they get to watch you come in. So they'll know where you're coming before you know exactly what their disposition of forces is. It lets you hit them a lot better. Now we do have the Heavy walking in here and saying, yeah, let's see what we can't do. Boink actually goes down. So roaming soldier down for Giffyndor, and that's going to give F2P the confidence they need to push in and attack. Can Giffyndor stay alive against an Ubered Heavy? Yeah, probably. They just have to walk backwards because Heavies are notoriously slow. Now, Trisk actually doing a really good job here of attacking the people who have invaded their base, but he does go down finally to Curdle, the roaming soldier. Meanwhile, though, not a lot of people left to defend the medic. The Heavy was just out of position there, so Giffy ran in, got the medic pick, and that's going to be hugely important for 10 points to Giffyndor. They are going to manage to cap this point. Whether they'll keep their medic alive against Curdle, don't know the answer to that one. This could be really, really huge if Curdle can actually pick off the medic. He will give them a really big Uber advantage, but it looks like he has to get out of there. He's got not enough health left. Sounds like Guy just got hit trying to take out the medic, but Pet not taking a whole lot of damage here, so he is going to be okay. Now attacking the point here, they have secured it, so what they need to do is set up their point defense. They've actually got an opportunity here to be really aggressive. 10 points to Giffyndor, holding the point right now in the red, and if they do it right, Giffyndor should be able to be aggressive here. They have an Uber advantage of about 40%, and if they push in with the Uber, take out the medic, that's what they want to do. Medic's actually hanging back in this position, so he's going to be safe from immediate aggression, but jumping soldier or really good stickies from the demo man can deal a lot of damage really fast. So soldier jumps in, and there they go, finally popping that Uber. Both soldiers are jumping after the medic. That's exactly what they want to do. They have knocked out E-Rock, so with the medic down, F2P is not really going to be able to defend this point very well. They are going to have to fall back to last. That's going to give Pet a huge advantage. Now, F2P, the only thing they can really do here is try to take out Pet with some kind of a soldier bomb or a sticky trap or something, but that's going to be very difficult. Giffyndor is going to be watching for stuff like that. They do have an attempt at a flank up here, but just got a little bit greedy and started trying to spit on him at a long range. Of course, the Scout's scattergun, not all that great at hitting at range. They really want to get in close, and so maybe he thought he was spotted. I don't know, but he ended up just taking a couple of pot shots before running back. So F2P here on the back foot once again, and they have a Pyro. So it looks like both teams have run the Pyro here on defense. We're going to have to see if it works for F2P. They are 20% behind on the Uber. I am expecting Pet to push in here with his team as soon as they get that Uber so that they can, yeah, here we go, they want to push in on the right-hand side just as soon as that Uber goes up so that they can push in, attack the medic before he's got his, and yeah, they are doing some damage, but I think E-Rock is going to have his Uber up just in time here to defend. Now, here's the interesting thing. Can they stop the actual cap coming in from the back? I don't know if they can. Looks like a lot of members of Giffyndor going down right now. They had an offensive NG. Not sure what happened there, but he did die really fast. Black Dynamite's gone down, but so has the Pyro for F2P. Nonetheless, F2P feeling confident. They're going to push out here. Trisk, oh, this is beautiful. Trisk is just waiting here. Going to knock out as many of those. Oh, too many stickies on the point. And Gunship Commander standing back there as well. Now they're complaining about the server, but of course nothing can be done. This is an STV demo, so of course the game was played out in full. But F2P did a great job there of defending that point from Trisk. I wonder if they knew he was there or if they were just kind of playing conservatively. Either way, they did a great job, and so now they are once again pushing out to second. They have about a 20% Uber advantage, which gives them about a couple of seconds to push out and hit that medic if they do it right. And we're going to have to see what positioning Giffyndor has on the point. They are sitting back. This is kind of what you want to do when the enemy has that little advantage and you think they're going to push into you really fast. You sit back here so that you can run back through your choke on Gully Wash as soon as they push in and as soon as they show aggression. And that way their Uber will fade, you can come right back at them, and you start playing what I always like to call it, they're playing ping pong over this middle point here. Not quite a perfect ping pong board, but nonetheless, that is what the teams are doing. Pet now has his 100% Uber though, so actually F2P just playing a little bit conservatively there, and it looks like they want to run around, rotate to the right side. You don't see as many teams attacking from over here because it's low ground, so it makes it easier for the enemy to hit you and easier to get around as well, actually. Look at this, the roaming soldier here for Giffyndor dealing a lot of damage there, killing a scout from behind. And now Giffyndor has counterpopped their Uber, and looks like for the Uber for F2P, they just don't have a lot to show for it. They finally managed to finish off Trisk there, kind of cratered into the ground. But everybody else for 10 points to Giffyndor is still alive. They're still holding the midpoint, and now they've got a significant Uber advantage because E-Rock, once again, was taken down by Boink. So Boink going really big in this game. He's been getting a lot of really clutch kills. I was going to say kicks, which is a combination between kills and picks. But you know what I meant. So F2P now running out here and trying to just pepper this team a little bit, slow down the offense as much as possible, but with 50% Uber advantage here, this is the kind of situation where Giffyndor really wants. They did push in last time, but they only had about 20% advantage, and so the counter pop did come out from F2P. This time, though, I'm really thinking if Giffyndor gets in there quickly, they are going to have probably this round one, and so that's going to be the very first point that we have going to either team. However, they're really playing back here. They're playing conservatively, so they're giving E-Rock a lot of time to build up this Uber right now. And of course, they don't want to just rush in and die to sticky traps, things like that, so they have to make sure they don't take too long. Now here we go, only about 70% for E-Rock when this was popped, so that's exactly the position they wanted to be in. Not enough time for E-Rock to build up really, but interestingly, they had to turn around. So I'm not sure exactly why they turned around like that, but Giffyndor now with 3 up against the 2 of F2P, Pyro, and a Scout, and they just can't quite stop that cap. So first point there after a kind of weird and sort of halting offense from Giffyndor. First point goes to Giffyndor. We do have a little Steam announcement. Wonderful. Thank you very much. I hope that goes away. I can't stop them even when I go offline, so, you know, these things happen. Here we've got Giffyndor rushing out to the point again, and we're going to see if they try to play more aggressively this time. They are getting some cap time on that point, but that's not really what they care about. They just care about using that large raised area as sort of a cover, as defense, so that they can attack and not take a lot of damage. Both scouts down here right now taking just a couple of incoming pills, so they're having to play really far back. But the core for F2P has not died yet, not a single death on their team, and they're pushing really hard onto this midpoint. So F2P, I think, winning this mid-fight so far, but it's still anybody's game. There's still a lot of soldier jumping, a lot of damage coming out from the Giffyndor team. Now they're 3 down, though, and Triska's taken a heck of a lot of damage, so they really need to fall back here. That's what they've finally done. All 6 up for F2P, so F2P, TF2 is for casuals. Really showing what they're made of here, especially on these mid-fights, where they are knocking out Giffyndor. The only thing that hasn't happened yet is we haven't seen a mid-fight where one medic drops, and that would, of course, make this a much shorter game. Because if one medic dies, the other one still lives, and you keep that 100% Uber walking in, then it's almost impossible for the other team to really do anything about it. As long as you play conservatively, play safe, you should be able to push in with that 100% to their last. But both teams have their Uber right now, and so they're both just kind of set up here, waiting for one team to make a mistake or waiting for a death to happen, because neither team really wants to be the aggressor in this situation. Well, as I say that, of course, I'm proven wrong, because F2P actually says, okay, well, their medic is really far forward, so we're going to see if we can't make him pop. That they do. They get the advantage here, so they can actually push with their Uber a lot further up. They're going to keep theirs for a lot longer, so they get to keep their invulnerability going just that little bit longer, and that means they get to get more damage down, while Giffyndor doesn't get to get theirs. Emron here getting a pretty big kill there on Curdle, so the roaming soldier for F2P is down, and it looks like a back cap going on very, very close there, but looks like the other scout here, Giffy, not quite able to do it. He does get a lot of, he actually got a pretty good kill there on Zephyr, but not quite able to take out I Am Root, and so I Am Root, the pocket soldier for F2P, going pretty big, making sure they defend that point. However, they can't defend it for long, as it has been captured by a victorious 10 points to Giffyndor team. So Giffyndor here is, once again, on the offensive here. They've got a pretty big Uber advantage, but Guy here actually takes out the Demo Man. That's pretty big. Demo Man really, really huge on DPS, so taking him out is going to neutralize a lot of the aggressive ability that Giffyndor really has. But they've still got both their soldiers. Now that I say that, Boink actually has gone down. They've still got one soldier, and there you go. Giffy was trying to go for a flank there. He's down as well. Now, I don't like this play here. They really should not have pushed in with most of their team down, but that's what they did, and whoa, what's going on over here? We've got, medic on medic action, the Uber Saw going down. So Pet Uber Saws E-Rock right before he gets taken down by Guy. That was pretty hilarious. If he had gotten like one more Uber Saw hit, because he did get all 3 on E-Rock, so he was up to 75%. If he'd gotten one more, he could have actually swapped out to the Medigun and gotten away with an Uber, which would have been utterly awesome to see. Didn't quite happen. Nonetheless, I think that medic on medic kill actually saved 10 points to Giffyndor, the middle point right now. Otherwise, they would have had everybody down. The enemy would have had their medic still alive, and it would have been much more difficult for F2P to push onto the middle. Or, no, I'm sorry, it would have been more difficult for Giffyndor to defend. My bad. But as it is at this point, because they lost their medic and they had to turn around and deal with the medic of Giffyndor, Pet, now F2P is once again in a situation where they could have pushed out to mid, but they didn't deal with that medic just fast enough, so now they're stuck here on their second trying to defend. Can they be aggressive here? Not sure. And what I really don't want to see right now is Giffyndor pushing in. Of course, this big sticky trap here would be a big detriment to their team if somebody were to walk around that corner. So they do not have the ability to push in and really be aggressive right now unless it's through the flanks. And those flanks are being watched like by these I was going to say watched like hawks, but that doesn't make sense. Hawks don't get watched, hawks watch. We've got, no, the Hawks of F2P, both of their scouts watching the flanks. Now, Black Dynamite here trying to just deal some damage to anybody who may happen to be standing there. There was nobody, but that's okay. Sometimes you just got to spam, put the damage out there, and see what comes up. And we've got more spam coming down over here as well. But yeah, I mean, F2P is in a really good position here. E-Rock's actually taking a lot of damage, so it looks like they're moving a little bit forward. They do finally want to be aggressive. They found that maybe they can get Giffyndor to pop. They have finally forced him to pop after he took 100 damage there from a sticky or two. Now they're having to back out. Of course, the Uber has come in, and really, I don't think they backed out far enough. Their medic could go down here. The demo's already gone down. Yeah, this medic is not going to last much longer. He's using the crossbow, interestingly enough. That's something you don't see a heck of a lot. Normally you see those needles. Needles are, of course, great for DPS. The crossbow, not as much. So I'm not entirely sure why E-Rock's using it. Maybe he just feels like he has really good aim, but of course he ended up missing Trisk there. Trisk took out his demo man. Anyway, E-Rock stayed alive. It's what he wanted to do. So at least the Ubers are just about even. E-Rock about 10% behind, but that doesn't really translate into a big advantage. Trisk here. We're going to watch Trisk cam as he jumps onto the midpoint, and he's going to try to attack these soldiers as much as possible. But actually has to back off here, and I think F2P realizes that they have to back off as well. Of course, F2P actually stands for free to play, and of course Team Fortress 2 is free to play now. If you're just tuning into this channel and you have no idea what Team Fortress 2 is, you really need to buy it. And of course by buy it, I mean don't buy it, because it's free. I am really tired right now. That's why I'm saying things that are dumb. Nonetheless, Pet here actually trying to shut down this area with his needles. He does have 100% Uber, so he's not worried about building up right now, but his soldier ended up running in there and dying, so he wanted to make sure nothing was following him through there, and nothing did. We've got interesting situation here. 2 scouts in a demo versus 1 scout, 1 demo, and a medic, but the medic, of course, has Uber, and so that kind of negates anything that F2P could possibly try to do, no matter what combination of units you have out there, what combination of classes. You can't beat something that's invincible. Although, you can push it back if you have a Pyro, so that's always fun. Now, Guy here trying to take out Boink, the roaming soldier for Giffyndor, but Boink is actually doing a really good job of knocking those scouts out whenever he can, especially in situations where you're indoors. The scout is going to have a harder time jumping around and using his double jump to maximum advantage, so the soldier kind of knows where he's going to land if he's inside. He just says, yeah, we can deal with that. Got a nice little back cap attempt coming in from here, and what's really interesting about this is that Giffy has dealt a lot of damage here, almost got away from that, but a scout came and chased after him, and you can't just run away from that. You kind of have to turn around and deal with it, because the scout chasing you, there's nothing faster, so scouts will kill you if you just turn your back and run to him. He had to turn around and deal with it, so of course tried to kill, didn't manage to make it work, but it was the optimal solution for what he was doing. Now we've got some spam coming in from down here. That was a really forward soldier play there by Curdle, and Curdle making every attempt to try to make Pet pop out of position. Of course, popping that Uber if you're back here, not good for you. You want to make sure you pop it as late as possible, pushing into here, so you get the maximum effect of all that invulnerability. Now, what they're waiting for here is probably some kind of mistake from F2P. Actually, F2P has lost a scout there. Not sure why he was rushing out, but oh, interesting. That's exactly what they wanted to do. They jumped up onto that ledge, forced Pet to pop early, so of course he's only going to get about 4 seconds out of this invulnerability, and now F2P turns around, counters with a full Uber of their own, so they get to sit here, be invulnerable, deal as much damage as possible, and say, get out of our base, 10 points to Giffyndor, get out of here. But Black Dynamite's having none of that. He says, no sir, I think we're going to stay right here. I'm going to pipe Curdle in the face. F2P guy hanging out here, looking down below, actually getting some decent reflects. So he wants to make sure that his point stays very, very secure, while the rest of the team kind of pushes out, and we're going to see here just what happens. Can the point get capped here by this soldier? And it looks like it's actually a soldier and a scout now, or can Giffy run back and make a back capped attempt? No, he cannot, but he does take out the Pyro, so Guy is down, and it looks like he may take out the Demo Man here too. Giffyndor going really big, getting a couple of good kills, so that means that any sort of push that F2P tries to make, and even any sort of defense that F2P tries to put up at second, is not going to work all that well, just because of Giffy's excellent play there on last. So he took out 2 players by himself. Now he's actually doing a back cap here. He could have gone in for that medic kill, but he realized that the medic and the soldier were both moving up to mid. Didn't really want to take him on there. Instead, he wanted to kind of force blue team's attention to come back to this point so that the rest of his team can get a good forward position, set up on mid. and that's exactly what he wanted to do. So an excellent back cap attempt there. Didn't quite get it, but now F2P's having to drop back, deal with all the flanking and all the back capping that's going on. So all of their aggression has been turned around. So TF2 is for casuals. Walking up here, seeing if they can't deal some damage. They have actually rushed out here and have not had to pop their Uber yet. Pet just now getting up to his 100%, so both teams here kind of jockeying for position around the middle point. And that was such a long run-on sentence, I almost completely ran out of breath. Nonetheless, the Uber popped first by Pet, and he's switching it around a lot, so it's going to fade really, really fast here, whereas the Uber for F2P fading a lot slower. He kept it on one person the whole time. But if you keep it on that one person, the rest of your team's going to take a lot of damage, of course, and they really weren't available there to hold that point. So, of course, with just one soldier, what can you do, right? Everybody on F2P pretty much died there, including E-Rock. So that is really going to give Giffyndor a huge advantage here. They should be able to push in, and that's exactly what they're doing. They don't even wait for the Uber. They just say, yeah, guys, let's get in here. Let's cap it. And they do, with the medic and the demo on the point. Last ones remaining that were actually standing there, but they managed to cap it nonetheless. Watching the Manco, the black Manco hat here of Guy as they run out to the middle point here, and we're going to have to see whether F2P can respond with some good aggression, because right now there's about 4 minutes left remaining in this half, and F2P is down 2-0 to the superior play from Giffyndor so far. Giffyndor here, everybody pretty much staying on the left side and everybody upstairs, so it may open them up to a little bit of a lower flanking. Enron and Giffy both go down. Emron and Giffy both go down, and here now we're seeing a lot of damage come down on Pet, but despite all that aggression, despite all the damage they've thrown down, most of the F2P team has died. So we are seeing that despite the fact that Pet is sitting back here, they really haven't lost this mid-fight yet. They're trying to get in here. Now it looks like the medic by himself actually finished off that cap. He does have 100%, so he counter-pops just now. Everybody on F2P is going to have that forward spawn, so of course they're going to be reinforcing much faster, and everybody from F2P now should be able to get in here, and well, actually, no, they're just giving it up. They're just saying, okay, nope, we can't push in here. Superior positioning by Giffyndor. So Giffyndor turns around and says, even though they had the forward spawns, didn't matter. We're going to take the point anyway. And here we go. Giffyndor holding this point, setting up their offense spots as usual. But with only maybe 3 minutes remaining. Oh, I like this positioning here by Giffy. If somebody would try and run around the flanks here, they would not like the results, so Giffy's just going to wait there for a second and see if anything tries to happen. We do have a soldier up here, meanwhile, trying to push in an attack. He looks like he damaged Black Dynamite, the demo man, just a little bit. Giffy's still hanging out in that bush. What's up, man? Yeah, and it looks like actually we finally got maybe a flank attempt coming in here, but now of course they've got their roaming soldier Boink here standing at the edge, and looks like he wants to just push in and say, no, I have this area covered. So Giffy's probably gonna have to run out of his, run out of your hiding spot, man. It's just time to play some TF2. Not a lot of time left. We've got the Ubers popped over here. Both Ubers popped at the same time, but it looks like the one is gonna fade for Giffyndor first. Nonetheless, the damage does come down here against F2P. Giffyndor's taken a lot of hits too, but their medic has remained alive with 150 health. No, he's actually about to go down. He does go down. Wow, I am root. Gil now crucial damage there at the very last second. And so can Giffyndor push in here to last? Probably not. They can cap second, but because half of their team is down, F2P just coming up now, they're not going to be able to cap last. Not yet anyway. They're going to have to make a really, really strong play here, probably without an Uber, if they want to cap it before the time runs out in this half. It is 2-0 right now, so Giffyndor is ahead. They're going to like their positioning, whether they have 2-0 or 3-0, but 3-0 of course would mean an automatic half. And if they can cap it, then they only have to get 2 in that second round. So here we go. Boink's pushing in right now. Pet already up at about 40% Uber. He's actually building that really fast, and he is because it's the Kritzkrieg. So he's rolling Kritzkrieg right now, and that's not normally a great idea pushing into last points because the enemy's going to have a very fortified position, sometimes with something like an engineer. Of course, Crits don't do anything to an engineer, and they are usually going to have that Uber built up. In fact, E-Rock is just about going to have that Uber built. But Pet's walking in here, and it looks like he pretty much just wants to get in there, attack right now. Can they do it? Lots of crit stickies coming down, but actually the Demo Man gets killed before that sticky was detonated. No good. They do manage to get a lot of kills. One Or they managed to get a lot of deaths. A couple of kills here, but yeah, just that one crit rocket managed to hit one person. That's the only thing that the crits did. 3 people left up for F2P, only 1 for Giffyndor, and I think that's going to mean that that's going to be halftime. No cap for 10 points to Giffyndor. They're calling good half right now. So that's pretty much just going to be halftime. Unless there's some kind of crazy back cap going on, that's what Guy is watching for. He's just standing down here watching this door. Yep, here come the scouts. He says, no, 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 no back caps for you. We're watching. Yeah, they're going to play very conservative here and make sure it only stays 2-0. They don't want to go 3-0, and there's no way they can push back to the enemy's last. So that's exactly the right call here. Playing defensively, setting it up so that Giffyndor is just going to have to be satisfied with their 2-0 in this first half. Wow, actually a lot of really aggressive play here by the Giffyndor team. They managed to just barely start capping that, but it really was not going to be enough. So that's the halftime, guys, and we are going to be right back as soon as the second half starts.